Yes, oh yes, oh yes. England are triumphant in France in that Rugby World Cup opener against the Argentinians. Now, that was some game. Not the sort of high-level encounter you're used to seeing from your sort of top five nations, but what I'd describe as a gritty performance. Now, England scored 0 tries, which once again resembles their problems in attack, but after going down to 14 men early on, they showed some resilience to continue fighting and stay in the game. The game started off, in my opinion, really high intensity. Both teams really going at it, some thunderous hits on both sides. Neither team really wanted to give an inch, but it was a Tom Curry yellow card upgraded to a red card on 3 minutes. Watching it live, I was gutted. I thought, not again. We've had Farrell going off with red cards. We've had other notable players like Billy V going off with red cards, and it just kills the momentum. Look, if you're asking my opinion on the red card, I reckon that's a yellow. I think, look, upgrading that to a red card is tough on England. Look, I can see why it was upgraded to a red card, because there's a reasonable level of force and it is head on head, but in my opinion, it's a glancing blow. As you say, the ball carrier has come from an extreme height and changed levels so quickly. Curry has very little time to react. Now, the flip side of that argument is, well, Curry, if you're waiting for a player to come to ground, you've just got to be passive in the tackle. You've got to wait for them and then tackle them. So, look, it's just that fine line between being really high intensity team, tackling with every pound of strength you've got, and also trying to keep it on the sort of mentally switched on and look, seeing the bigger picture of the risk. England, through the drop goals of George Ford, that was a massive part of the game. George Ford hitting drop goals from 50 metres. I cannot believe what I was seeing. Look, you play the card you're dealt, and England can't attack for the love of all glory at the moment. So we just took what we can do, and is utilise the ability of a player like George Ford to kick some goals. Now, look, it's not an attractive style of rugby. It's certainly not going to be a style that's packing out Twickenham. But if you can get a result, and in a Rugby World Cup, that is really what it comes down to, then look, that's what you do. Boffelli opened Argentina's account early on in the game, and England went in at 12-3 favourites at half time. It was a scrappy encounter, loads of scrums. Just a completely sort of stereotypical English rugby game. Los Pumas fell on the side of ill discipline, with Carreras going off with a yellow card. Now, I was hopeful this would be upgraded to red. I had a good feeling it wouldn't be. Carreras went up to charge down George Ford, followed through and sort of hit him with his sort of glute to the shoulder / face of George Ford. Ford, as any experienced pro would, stayed down a couple minutes, forced the TMO to have a little look, and they deemed it to be meeting yellow card threshold. I'd say enough of the force went through the shoulder for it to count as just a yellow, but look, I was hopeful. Considering Curry's was sort of marginal, I was hoping that one fell the right side, but look, it didn't, and England played the game of 77 minutes down to 14 men. So, a couple of the pros and cons and what each team did well. I'd say English scrum was good, eked out quite a few scrum penalties. I always question the inclusion of Dan Cole at his ripe old age of 36 now probably, but he held his own in the scrum, and look, I think Steve Borthwick can justify that selection. And I'd put my hands up and say, look, fair enough. You got what you wanted there. England were clinical. Now, not through tries, but not every time. That's a drastic exaggeration. Most of the time, when we were in a good attacking position, especially in the first half, we'd come away with 3 points. Now, against the big teams like South Africa and your New Zealands and your Irelands, France. Look, 3 points isn't enough. Like, you have to try and score tries, because otherwise they will just be too far ahead on the scoreboard. But look, we can only play what's in front of us at the end of the day. The maul for England was working well. It seems to sort of fizzle out when we were sort of on the Argentina 5 metre line. Good maul D from Argentina when we were right on their line, so fair enough. But yeah, it looked quite good from sort of the mid sort of 50 metre mark. But yeah, negatives are no attack. Like, at no point did I think, look, we're looking dangerous here. But hey, I'm not too fussed about that at the minute. A win was good enough for me. And then again, good defence from England. As you can see, Argentina didn't score until the 79th minute, so look, it is what it is. Look, it's never nice conceding that late on, but the game was wrapped up at that point. From Argentina's point of view, handling errors absolutely killed them. And when you combine handling errors with a good English scrum, look, you often yield positive results for the English. So yeah, it stunted their attacking momentum so much. Like whenever they got in a good position, just kept dropping it. So that's good pro for England, good defence, but also quite poor from Argentina. The discipline for Argentina was shocking, absolutely shocking. Like I think it was like 12 penalties. That's not awfully much, but when you consider England gave away half of that, look, it's always going to be a long day. And George Ford, like once again, I'm banging the George Ford drum at the minute. His kicks to touch were on the money. So when you're gaining sort of 40-50 metres off a kick to touch, there you go. It's always going to punish you. I have had a not call it a moan, but I've been quite conscious of the fact in the warm-up games, George Ford was really not sort of biting off any sort of distance with his touch kick. So I'm very happy to see him tighten up on that. And then positive for Argentina, if there is any, they did look the more dangerous side ball in hand. Like when they had the ball in sort of Lucio Cinti's hands and the outside Boffelli, Carreras, they looked like they were more likely to make a line break than England. But look, there's looking likely to make a line break and there's making one, which are two very different things. The line out was also troublesome for Argentina, and yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it. From an English point of view, look, I'm not sitting here thinking we're going to be any sort of contenders at the knockout stages. We're not. I'm just, I'm happy. I'm content with just opening with a win. I mean, getting knocked out at the pool stages would be devastating. So, look, I'm content with the fact that we sort of grinded out a really tough old victory. And look, it's all about confidence. England will gain confidence from that. They'll gain confidence from good defence, and they'll gain confidence from the fact that George Ford can win them games simply by his right boot. So look, I'd really be interested to see what you have to say in the comments about this game. Once again, I want to reiterate that I'm not banging the England drum to say we're going to do anything special in this World Cup, because deep down I don't feel we are. But look, it's a step in the right direction for England, and as always, I'll reply to every single comment in the comment section, and I'm very interested to see what you have to say. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.